Today we're making Parisian Gnocchi, a humble dish that you would probably never find in a French restaurant. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss an upcoming video on this leek salad with a mustard bacon vinaigrette. This Parisian Gnocchi recipe is largely derived from the one in My Paris Kitchen by David Lebovitz, and its comforting richness will make you forget all about its Italian counterpart. The dumplings are made from a pâte à choux dough. This is basically butter, water, some salt, and of course, flour. And we're gonna stir it until it starts to form into a dough. You can probably already sense the richness from this dish, but trust me, it's worth it. So add the dough once it's more compact to a stand mixer. We need to let it sit for at least 3 minutes, stirring occasionally to release some of the heat. I actually let it sit a bit longer than 3 minutes and started in on the second component to this, which is the Mornay sauce. First, melt the butter over medium heat until it's completely melted. Then we add in some flour. Give that a good stir to make sure there are no lumps, and you're looking for almost a milkshake texture. I substituted oat milk for whole milk or low-fat milk as an alternative, and it actually turned out really good and just as creamy. I don't even think you need to use a lactose-based milk if you don't want to. Just make sure you give it a really good stir. Again, avoid any clumps. You also want to make sure it doesn't burn or brown. And you'll notice here that I'm gradually adding the milk as I stir. It makes for a really creamy, luscious, thick sauce. One of my favorites that I've made so far. And like I said, this is comfort food. This is not weight loss food. But that's also why I'm substituting ingredients like oat milk that don't sacrifice flavor. And now that our pâte à choux has cooled down, we're going to add eggs and mustard while we blend it. I had to do it on a low speed. Medium was just too high, but the original recipe does recommend for medium. Don't beat the dough too much, but just enough so it's completely smooth, and then we're going to cover with a kitchen towel and set aside. Let's return to our Mornay sauce, where we removed it from the heat. We're going to add salt now and cayenne pepper, just a pinch, as well as a half cup of any Swiss style cheese that you had. I actually only had mozzarella on hand, but that made for a fine substitute. Give that a good stir until all the cheese and ingredients have mingled and melted, and your sauce is beautifully thick and creamy. And now we're going to prep our baking dish. It should be a shallow dish. This is actually probably a little too deep, but it worked just fine. Once buttered, sprinkle some Parmesan, just enough to cover the bottom of the dish. Now spread 1 cup of your Mornay sauce, leaving the remainder to cover the top of the gnocchi once we add it. Make sure that that's evenly spread across the bottom of the dish. This next step is totally optional, but highly recommended. Add some sauteed veggies. I chose kale. You can use spinach, whatever your heart desires, but add some health to this otherwise really rich but satisfying dish. And here's a technique that David Lebovitz recommended in his cookbook, My Paris Kitchen, using an ice cream scooper to shape the gnocchi with another spoon to help remove it. I didn't have an ice cream scooper with a spring, but this one worked just fine. We're going to poach the gnocchi, 8 of them at a time for about 2 minutes per batch, putting them on a paper towel covered plate to help them soak and dry. Once that's done, place the gnocchi in a single layer atop the Mornay and kale, and then you're going to add the remaining Mornay on top of the gnocchi, sprinkling the top with the remainder of your Parmesan cheese, and adding it to the oven for 15 minutes. See, I'm pretty excited there. We're at 350. Make sure you put it on a baking sheet in case there's any spillover, and also just is easier to handle that way. See ya. And then we're going to return for another 400. You can see it's not totally brown enough, and we're going to do that for about 15 to 20 minutes more depending on the temperature of your oven. And voila, there's the final product. Bon appetit. This was a really comforting, soulful dish. I really enjoyed it. I hope you did too. Thanks very much for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, be sure to smash that like button and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any future bon vivant culinary and travel adventures.